healthy eating doesn't have to be boring. Something clicked in me and I didn't want to be average anymore. The hardest step in anything you do is always just starting. The more you fail, you're more likely going to succeed. For me, it was just about persevering.
I have heard that you broke all the records.
My passion is in cooking and nutrition and sharing that with other people and showing other people that you can live a healthier, more delicious lifestyle.
I'm Elena Reddy and welcome to Foreign Influence. Qualities in the business person. It's within us. If it was ashamed of, do something.
Like music where I'll tell a story.
What's happening? Your life can be better.
Happiness is about having a good time, it's about joy.
Yeah, will go along with faith, so.
And the challenge is and welcome to Foreign Influence. Today we're visiting Amy Lee. Amy is a chef content creator, but she only cooks very healthy recipes. Amy is also a national finalist of Miss Universe Australia. Let's see what she's got prepared for us today.
你好，欢迎来到我家. Hello and welcome to my home.
Amy, thank you so much for having us in your beautiful home.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
Could you please tell me how this passion developed for healthy cooking?
I always loved eating and cooking, especially when I was younger in school. However, I didn't always eat so healthily. So I actually was like super famous for having a McDonald's diet. So it was so extreme to the extent that I even dated someone whose family owned a couple of McDonald's outlets, so I could
That's
get it
handy.
for free.
Strategic
yeah, it was
thinking.
Super handy. And I loved like dipping fries into sundaes. I would order nuggets all the time. I had like a casual job at a news agency, and I would spend like my cash in hand straight away at McDonald's. I also did not work out at all. And eventually, when I started getting into my early 20s, I realized this started sort of catching up with me. My metabolism was slowing down, so I decided to do all this research around nutrition and fitness, and I decided that I was going to become super fit and healthy, and along the way I discovered how I could make healthy eating more delicious as well as still being nutritious, so without compromising on taste. And so that's how, sort of on my own health journey, that's how I sort of became really passionate about healthy cooking and turned it into a career, basically.
So you decided to invest into your future.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And I'm so passionate about helping other people do the same thing too. Healthy eating doesn't have to be boring.
Do you remember the first video that you have created?
I was very obsessed with finding ways to put protein into like every sort of meal or dish that I had. So it was probably some sort of protein brownie or protein cookie, something like that. I have a massive sweet tooth, so it would have been something along those lines.
So what have you got for us today prepared?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a recipe from my late Chinese grandma. She used to make it for me all the time. It's General Tso's chicken. So you probably would have had this at a Chinese restaurant, and funnily enough, it's actually not that common in China. It's more common in Western countries, but she wouldn't make it all the time. However, she wasn't that concerned about health. So it's definitely classically a deep fried dish. However, I've sort of made a few tweaks to make it healthier that I'll run you through. So a few tips and tricks to make it more nutritious, as well as still being, you know, that crunchy, crispy, savory, salty a bit sweet and tangy flavor that's like true to the nature of the dish, but whilst being, you know, lighter, still high in protein, but less calories and fat. So it's really good also for meal prep as well as like quick weeknight dinners whenever you're in a rush for your kids at home. So I think it's a really good recipe to sort of have on hand, and I definitely think once you try it, it'll be a regular in your rotation.
Fabulous. I love it how it's passed on from generation to generation, but you also added your personal touch to make it
absolutely
extra healthy.
The first thing that we do is obviously grab some chicken. Now traditionally this is made with chicken thighs, but we're going to use some chicken breast today to make it leaner and higher in protein as well. So I've just diced that up. And then another trick they do in Chinese restaurants is they also marinate the chicken in a little bit of baking soda. So that sort of tenderizes the chicken, especially when it's chicken breast and it has like not so much fat to make it tender. The baking soda helps to tenderize that. So
do you powder it on, or you dissolve it with water?
You just sprinkle enough like on the surface, maybe about a teaspoon for a bowl, and then let that marinate for about 30 minutes.
That's a great tip.
Yeah, it's really useful. And then the first thing we do is make the sauce slash marinade. So you probably already have the ingredients at home. First ingredient we have is some soya sauce, or you can also use tamari sauce, which is a gluten-free alternative, same flavor. So we add that into the bowl, if you can help me out here.
Oh, I will help you.
Next thing is a tablespoon of hoisin sauce. So that's like a very typical Chinese ingredient.
Yes.
That's like a really beautiful,
yeah, for Peking duck, the pancakes.
Yes, I love Peking.
Yes.
And then some rice wine vinegar, so that adds a nice acidity to it and helps to caramelize everything when we put it under heat. To add a little bit of spice to it, a bit of a kick, we add some chili sauce, or traditionally this is made with sambal olek, but it's very hard to get that sort of in typical supermarkets. So we just got some sriracha today, that's just what I had.
Well, that's a good alternative.
Yes. And the next ingredient, sorry, it's very full, is just some toasted sesame oil, so that adds a beautiful nutty flavour. But we basically just stir that until it's nice and smooth and combined. So super quick and easy. There we have the sauce like so. And then we add 2 tablespoons of this to the chicken to marinate, and we let that set that aside for 30 minutes, or you can also marinate it overnight. So we'll just pour 2 tablespoons of that in. And then we reserve the rest of that for the sauce, and then add some minced garlic and ginger, which will also add some really nice Asian flavors to it too. And then I'll let you mix this up.
Yes, absolutely. While I'm mixing, please tell me how you ended up filming that amazing video with Formula One Grand Prix driver.
Oh yes, with Oscar Piastri. So he is a McLaren F1 driver, and I'm a huge fan of the F1. So this was such an amazing opportunity. Oh really?
Drive to Survive.
Yes,
I am glued to TV.
I think F1 has blown up since Drive to Survive, which I think has been the best thing for the sport. I'm an Optimum Nutrition ambassador, which is the world's top sports supplement brand, and they actually work together with the McLaren Formula One team. So that's how I came across to having the opportunity to show Oscar Piastri how to cook some protein-packed recipes to help fuel him for a race day on the track. And also very excitingly, we also managed to fuel the whole of the McLaren F1 pits crew with my protein balls. So that was a very, very big honor, and I don't want to obviously beef myself up, but McLaren did come podium 3 and podium 4 at the Australian Grand Prix, which is an amazing result, and I'm not going to try and claim that it is because of my protein balls.
I think you could.
A combination.
Yes.
Obviously there's skill and talent, but yes, definitely nutrition is so important in sports and fitness and everyday life even as well. I always try to make my recipes high in protein as well, whether it be a snack or a dinner or, you know, a quick meal, lunch. Protein is so important. It's the building blocks of our body, and also helps to, you know, repair and recover for, you know, everyday life wear and tear. The next step is we're letting this marinate for about 30 minutes, and then we can prepare the rest of the sauce, which we're going to put over heat and thicken that up. I've got a little bit of brown sugar. You can also use coconut sugar for a lower glycemic index, but I've just got some brown sugar on hand. So we add this to the sauce. And then we also add some cornstarch, or you can use some tapioca starch as well. This is like a nice thickener. So we just sprinkle that on top and then we give that a whisk until it's all dissolved, like so. And you can already smell, it's starting to smell like a Chinese restaurant.
Yummy, yummy. Please tell me about your cultural background.
I'm Malay Chinese Filipino, and my parents, coincidentally, although different ethnicities, they come from the exact same small rural town in Malaysia, but they met in Australia.
Wow.
So
Destined to be together.
both grew up in this small town where you never go there. Like, it hasn't changed in 50 years. It's very, very small. It's called Muar, M-U-A-R, in Malaysia. I came over to Australia when my dad was trying to start a travel business, and my mum was a flight attendant. Very typical story, although my mum says that my dad was actually after my mum's colleague, but she had a boyfriend, so he went for my mum as like a second resort. So, and then they've been together ever since. So
all flight attendants are so glamorous, so I can see where you get your glamorous looks from.
well, my mum was on the billboards for the Malaysia Truly Asia, the Malaysian Airlines billboards where their slogan was Malaysia Truly Asia. So she was actually on them back in the day.
I am not surprised. I'm not surprised.
So that's our sauce right there. And then the final step is we add some chicken stock. So this will create a really nice sauce.
Amy, tell me about your educational background.
I actually studied commerce and I majored in marketing. So that explains obviously everything that I'm involved in.
How organized you are, yes.
Oh, I try. Life can get really chaotic and hectic, but I try. I've never been into studying, and I think I inherited that from my dad. I think both of us do not like sitting down with books. So funnily enough, I mainly learnt everything just by being on my phone a lot, and I learnt all about social media channels, not from university, and blogging about what I'm passionate about. My studies have mainly just been from practicing in real life. I wasn't that hardworking when it came to study. Back in university, I wasn't that motivated.
Well, you haven't matured maybe yet, but you are very hardworking now.
Yeah, definitely completely different person. But I think what clicked in me is when we had an opportunity to enter an international business competition when I was about 20. And this is a competition that's run by L'Oreal, so obviously the world's biggest beauty company. And every year they'd pick one of their beauty brands for students to sort of focus on a case study around that and create like a business and a marketing plan. So the competition's about 6 months long, and I ended up just winning first place, and they
well done, bravo!
And I think after that, that gave me sort of like a taste of what success could be like. And ever since then, I've been just obsessed with being, I guess, just the best I can be in whatever field I'm in. It was like something clicked in me and I didn't want to be average anymore. So I think that was like the first time that I realized I really wanted to do something above average in my life, and that's why I guess I run a separate marketing business, but my passion is in cooking and nutrition and sharing that with other people and showing other people that you can live a healthier, more delicious lifestyle.
You're an Instagram influencer. You have so many followers worldwide. How long did that take you to accumulate that many followers?
So I think it was a bit of a slow burn when you first start, like with anything. I think the hardest step in anything you do is always just starting. And I think what stops people from starting is the fear of failure. And I think the more you fail, you're more likely you are going to succeed. For me, it was just about persevering. Like, I had a few jobs when I was growing up. The last job I had, I was a digital marketing manager for a large FMCG food company. So that was a really good experience to have. And I think even another thing is the busier you are as well, the better you are at time management. I think a lot of people glorify busy, but the thing is that they may not actually be doing all the activities that they're saying, but when you're actually busy, you sort of don't have time to talk about how busy you are. So I think it's...
You're doing really things, you're out there.
Yeah, exactly. So I think for me, it was just, learning how to manage my side hustle, which was in social media and blogging about healthy recipes, as well as working full time. I think that was like pivotal in me sort of learning, you know, how to manage everything and sort of segment and compartmentalize everything in this organized manner to achieve the end goal that you want. It's all about like the small steps you take every day and the consistency, rather than, you know, like focusing on like the big picture and getting overwhelmed. I think our chicken has been marinating long enough. It's been about 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes.
The fumes are absolutely delicious. I'm ready to eat.
So at this stage we coat it in a little bit of starch. So we're going to use some tapioca starch today, and that will help get the exterior of the chicken nice and golden and crispy. And typically my grandma at this point would deep fry the hell out of it and it would become very oily and greasy but delicious. But today we're going to go for healthier options. The end result will still be nice and crispy, but it will be a lot lighter on the fat and the calories because we're going to do, you know, a deep shallow fry on high heat. Or you can also air fry it as well. That's another way to make it crispy without the fat too. But today we're going to do it on a pan as it's much quicker for the sake of this video.
Let's do it.
So we got a pan over medium-high heat. I'll just turn it on. Then we grab some oil and heat that over until it's nice and hot. Today we're going to use some olive oil. That will also help to add a really nice golden color too. So I'm only adding just under a tablespoon. So we don't need to use too much in order to get that, you know, really crispy outside that everyone knows and loves. And then we add some chili flakes and garlic and ginger to the pan, and then we'll just fry that off. So now we're going to add in our sauce in here, and we'll just heat that until it thickens up. Ooh, good sound.
Yeah.
That's how you know it's going to be delicious.
And bubbly.
I think that's looking nice and thick. It all comes together in a few short minutes. This is the step where we coat this in the cornstarch. This is our tapioca starch / cornstarch. So we're just going to use that to coat our chicken, and that gives it that nice crispy exterior. So we've got quite a lot in there, but it's better to use more than less, because then we just shake off the excess.
Well, that's
and we just want to make sure every part of it's coated. So I'll let you.
Yes, I will try. I feel
Quite
like
therapeutic.
Yes, and I feel like I've got so much responsibility on my shoulders.
No, you got this.
Amy, as a finalist of Miss Universe Australia, please tell me about the steps that you had to go through. Why did you decide to apply?
Funnily enough, they asked me to apply every year for about the last 5 years. However, I never felt that I was quite ready until now. At this stage of my life, I'm honestly, you know, I'm really proud and happy of everything that I've achieved. You know, I'm not fully satisfied, but I am proud of everything that's happened so far. And I just reached, like, I think this level of confidence in my life where I just know who I am, know what I want to do. And I felt ready to sort of have like an extra challenge in my life. And I love how the Miss Universe organization as a whole, globally and worldwide, it really supports and empowers females around the world, because typically that our gender was not always celebrated when several hundred years ago, and now times have changed so much. And I just feel that the Miss Universe organization really pioneers women empowerment and obviously strength in being a female and being able to achieve what you want to do in life. That was something that I wanted to support and promote amongst my community. Obviously have some self-growth within myself being in the competition. I've definitely found it highly challenging, but it's been such a good experience so far. And I am very excited to announce that I'm now a national finalist. So I made it through
incredible.
To, you know,
what an achievement already.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
Amy, you also have a book.
Very excitingly, I published my first cookbook in 2019 and it became a bestseller. It was always something I wanted to do. I always wanted to be an author my whole life. So when the
Another accomplishment.
Thank you so much. It's called Nourish in 5, which is, I'm planning on making a series. However, this is the first one, which is focused on 5 ingredient healthy desserts. And there are over 100 packed into this book. So there's a dessert recipe for anyone and everyone in this book. It's designed, to accommodate all types of diets, whether it be gluten-free, paleo, vegan, high protein, it's all in there. And I'm also very proud to say that it also supports Oz Harvest Charity, which is a charity that supports people who are undergoing hunger poverty in Australia, and it also helps to prevent food wastage, which is a huge global issue, not just in Australia. There are billions of dollars of food that's wasted every year, and funnily enough, it's actually not just in restaurants and supermarkets and hospitality industry. Most of the food wastage is actually done in a domestic circumstance. So within our own homes, that's where the most good food is wasted. So we can all take steps to sort of prevent food wastage, and that's what this book is about. It's about zero waste and, obviously triple tested recipes so that the recipes are more likely to succeed, and therefore there is less wastage overall from that aspect.
You're thinking not just about what you're doing right now, but you're thinking about that overall picture. That's very impressive. On your Instagram page, I saw that you have a photo with Gordon Ramsay.
He actually sort of reacted to one of my TikTok recipes, but not necessarily in a good way. So he has this segment on his TikTok which is called Ramsay Reacts, and it's all about him reacting to like crazy recipes on the internet. And I made this ice cream that was made out of sweet potato.
Oh wow, that's an exotic recipe in itself.
And I knew I really wanted Gordon to sort of react to it and comment on how wild it is. It might look like ice cream, but it's actually frozen
What is that?
sweet potato, and do not knock it on
No, stop it.
because it is amazing.
Really?
So
No, you've lost the plot. What the hell?
Popsicle stick in there and
No.
and some melted chocolate with
No, seriously? Honestly, 50 shades of sweet potato.
Go try it. That went viral, and actually, even though he was mocking it, it was like the biggest day of book sales for me. It was crazy. So it just goes to show that all press can be good press. Because of that one 20-second TikTok, it also gave me the opportunity to appear on Gordon Ramsay's TV show, which is called Food Stars. So that's currently airing at the moment, which is very exciting.
It is exciting. Back to Miss Universe Australia contest, I have heard that you broke all the records raising money for charity.
One of the reasons I did Miss Universe Australia is because of how supportive they are of a charity called Toy Box Australia, which supports kids with cancer through Ronald McDonald House and Camp Quality. So 100% of the profits all go to this wonderful, worthy cause, which does support Australia's most disadvantaged kids. And as a Miss Universe contestant, it's a part of our requirement to fundraise for this charity. I just chose to do a charity gala. As you know, my background is in marketing, digital marketing and events and PR. So it was just a no-brainer for me to sort of run a really large-scale event and, have the right people there and make it a really beautiful, 3-course dinner experience, and have a wonderful auction and raffle with items donated from so many generous, amazing businesses. It was just so heartwarming to see so many of my friends, family, businesses come together to support this cause and also support my position in Miss Universe. And so yeah, I was really delighted to raise a very life-changing sum of money. So I will always remember that night as, one of the best moments in my life was raising this amount for those children.
Absolutely incredible. Now, Letitia has raised over $33,000. Let's give her a round of applause. Now, Amy has actually raised over $90,000, which is just insane. Would you like a job with Toy Box, Amy?
You've done an amazing job.
Thank you.
Massive effort.
Hopefully you're hungry.
Amy, this is looking delicious. What are the cultural traditions that you follow in your family growing up?
Chinese New Year is a really big holiday for us too, which lasts about 2 weeks. It's also known as Lunar New Year. So that's in February, and that is always about food, lots of meat, lots of fish, stir-fried veggies. It's like such a delicious time. So that's like a big cultural thing for us.
Well, Amy, thank you so much for having us in your magnificent home and for cooking this delicious meal. We wish you all the best for Miss Universe Australia finals. We will be your biggest fans. We'll be cheering on.
So much.
Well, let's dig in now.
So good.